My salvation comes from me. In many ways, throughout your practice of A Course in Miracles, you're going to see that you'll be debating what this whole lesson really is talking about in various forms as you expand in your perspective. So it's pretty amazing as it is coming into fruition, how it really sounds like that you really are capable of finding all of the answers that you need right there within you. And that's exactly what it is saying. But so often do we actually start trying to combine this idea of the salvation and what this is referring to and our physical world. And so we're trying to squish them both together, and we kind of get all messed up and confused. And we even think the ideas of saying this is about guilt, even as it's literally using the words, ideas of guilt, and the fact that you can find peace and that literally nothing can harm you. And we insist that this is only then psychological. And we think, oh, this is just psychological about your emotions and what you are understanding about yourself in that fashion, instead of actually being quite literally where it's saying that no one can harm you. Yeah, we can take that, and emotional. Yeah, no one can harm my emotions unless I let them. No one can hurt me unless I put my guard down, or whatever it might be. And yes, that's true. But this is referring to every single layer of what you call your reality. Every single one. So it's talking about, yes, psychologically, it's talking about emotionally, it's talking about energetically, spiritually, it's talking about physically as well. So remember, this is a course in miracles, not just a course in thinking better. Right? It's not just a course in positive thinking. Yes, that's great. Of course, you will be more positive as you embrace that sense of what you are as this, say, naturally positive entity. So in this recognition of what salvation, this is more so in regards to just simply answers. And even when I say answers, you think that's just intellectual information. But this is any sort of answers to all problems and difficulties. Now, when it says salvation, my salvation comes from me, and to sum that up with just the title, it is not directly in association necessarily to the fact that it's reliant on you, but the fact of what you actually are, right? So we actually want to remember that it's not about relying on me, but what, say, we all are, okay? My salvation comes from who I actually am. My salvation comes from the Son of God. Okay? Not from me as in my individual. If we think it's coming from the individual self, you're going to be battling it out, getting sick. You might even think that this is referring to sickness, and yet you're saying, come on, my salvation comes from me. I'm going to get better. Got a real one there. Working it. My sickness comes from me as well. And that's kind of what this is referring to. Yes, this involves the physical body and mental sickness, emotional sickness, all of the sicknesses. Yes, it's all included. But you are going through A Course in Miracles your entire life. That means you're actually learning how to deal with this. You're learning how to recognize salvation. So yes, you're going to be embracing and the little things, which I would say it starts off with the emotions. That you're starting off with your emotions, or even just your thoughts. And we actually think physical things are a little bigger because we think, oh, these are facts. Well, you can't perform miracles on facts. I got a virus, and that's real, and that's a fact. So we think those are big. We think that's a huge thing that you can't go against, right? You can't You can't go against and find something outside of that. It's kind of like gravity. You can't go against gravity. No, that's a fact. Opposed to your emotions, people are fine saying that emotions aren't facts. They're like, "I'll suck it up, coward." That's perfectly fine. But no, you can't run through a wall. No, that's crazy talk. But suck up the emotions because they're fake, right? It's kind of with thoughts. Like, we have this idea that our thoughts are changing all the time, and we can continually choose different ones, and yet we choose ones we hate all the time. We're like choosing literally to hate. We choose hate, and we feel hated, and we feel sucky, and we think that we actually, in that way, could be away from hatred or the person we hate. We think it's the person that we hate, and we'll be saved as we get away from the person. But next thing you know, we're kicking around rocks. I hate these stupid rocks, in the same fashion. It's like you don't realize that the hate in that, using that idea, isn't in the other person. You're projecting and putting it into the other person, but you're keeping the hate in your own mind. You're saying, I hate this. I can't stand that. This is so stupid, right? And you're choosing these things. And yet the salvation from these things, just like the salvation from everything, is within myself. The totality in recognizing myself and who I am. The wholeness of what I am. That's where I can discover all the solutions and answers to any problem that confronts me. But so often we can tolerate it because it doesn't last that long. We tolerate it and we get out of it. We tolerate it, we get out of it. Instead of realizing, why do we keep having this happen? Why do we want to tolerate it? Why can't we really confront it and change it to a different fashion, make it into a different way, or choose differently? Choose differently about our thoughts, choose differently about our emotions, but really recognizing, as far as this course is specifically focused on, or this lesson, is that it comes from you. It always comes from you, not anyone else, not anything else. You're not going to be happy all of a sudden because you became wealthy. No. If you're not happy now, you're not going to be happy then. No, you might have some different arrangement of life. Yes, it might be different. You're not going to be happy. You're still going to be the same untrained mind after you win the lottery as you are when you didn't win the lottery. The same trained mind as if your dog died. It's the same untrained mind. So it's about this whole practice of training your mind to actually recognize that my salvation does not come from winning the lottery. My salvation does not come from absolute success. My salvation does not come from any of these things. My salvation comes from my choosing. The salvation comes from my mind, me, not, okay. And we get caught up in thinking, oh yes, my salvation comes from me. Come, worship me. Salvation comes from me, everybody. No, and of course we get mixed up. It's like, no, you don't know the truth. I'm a teacher of A Course in Miracles. I got the salvation. You don't know it. You don't have it. Come worship me. Nope. So keep practicing. So the real gist of putting this whole lesson, summing it up, is in the sense of salvation doesn't come from anything else. Salvation comes from me. And we got to remember, in that way, what is salvation but a solution to a seeming problem? I mean, we have this, so many different ideas. In fact, I want to say it had an idea of you see neither guilt or salvation in from your own mind, but everyone now here, nowhere else. Oh jeez, can't read on the spot like that. The solution comes from me. Yeah, so you think something is always to blame but not you. And then it comes back to responsibility. Responsibility is something that you'll be getting more and more into this course, that being the essence that you are, the totality of reality, the one that literally creates the world. Yes, responsibility is a very huge thing. The whole world is a victim of what you have been choosing. Now, they're complaining as much as you. You're really it's just reflecting. Now I'm just rambling. So, okay. I need salvation now.